Goes back. Chair now recognizes the gentleman from New York, Mr. Ryan.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you both for being here. We have all worn the uniform. We've all served in combat. We all love our country. We all revere our troops. And I really want to speak with you both, not as partisans, but as patriots. I want to talk specifically about the events at Fort Bragg the other day. General Kane, I want to start with you. As a junior officer, were you ever required to make a pledge of political loyalty? Yes or no?
Hey folks, welcome back to America Patriots, the home of common sense, big laughs, and good old-fashioned American backbone. Before we get rolling, do me a solid. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring that little liberty-loving bell. It helps us get this message out past the algorithm gremlins, and it lets YouTube know that free-thinking patriots are still alive and kicking. And drop a comment below. Tell me what you think, because honest conversations are what keep this country strong. All right, let's talk about this congressional exchange, because this one had everything. Drama, politics, at least one moment where I swear the temperature in that room went up 20 degrees.
Sir, as you know, we're apolitical
I have
military,
time.
so, no.
Thank you. At any time in your 30-plus years of incredibly distinguished service, did you have to make a pledge of partisan or political loyalty?
No, sir.
Thank you. Did you ever serve in any unit or command at any level where service members were required to make a pledge of political loyalty?
No, sir.
Thank you. And I want to commend you. You've been on the record on this, including in your confirmation hearings where you clarified, quote, "I've never worn any political merchandise or said anything to that effect." I appreciate that. That is the standard, and commend you for saying so and continuing to model that. General Kane, one last question for you. Should soldiers have to pledge political loyalty to participate in an event with our commander-in-chief? Yes or no, please.
Sir, I'm not, first, no. I'm not aware of any time in history that soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines have been asked to do that. I think
I'm sorry, General, I do want to, just in the interest of time, I want to talk about what happened at Fort Bragg 2 days ago. There was guidance put out, and this has been verified by multiple independent news outlets, saying, quote, these are to the soldiers of the 18th Airborne Corps and the U.S. Army. If soldiers have political views that are in opposition to the current administration, then they need to speak with their leadership and get swapped out. This is swapped out of the event with the president. In addition, in an incredibly disturbing incident, there was a pop-up shop selling MAGA merchandise on post at Fort Bragg. And to summarize this, there was a commander from Bragg who said on the record, quote, "This has been a bad week for the Army, for anyone who cares about us being a neutral institution. This was shameful." If those are the facts, and I know the Army is investigating at least the MAGA pop-up shop, is that appropriate, General Kane?
Sir, I haven't seen any of these reports. I'm not familiar with them, but as I mentioned earlier and in my confirmation hearing, the nation demands a apolitical, nonpartisan military.
I appreciate you saying that and happy to share those reports. Secretary Hegseth, are you familiar with DoD Directive 1344.10? Political activities of the members of the armed forces?
Well, first off, I don't buy into your
yes or no?
insinuation
Are you familiar
that pledges are being done under this administration. That's
I reclaim my time. Are you familiar with this DoD directive?
There's never one time in my service or in this Defense
Secretary,
Department.
will you please answer
I'm answering your
these
question
questions.
where politics has been considered for service members.
Are you familiar with this directive? Yes or no?
Which directive?
DoD Directive 1344.10. I'm happy to provide you a copy. There's even a one-page red and green cheat sheet. Are you familiar with it? This is the same directive from when we were all in uniform.
I'm sure I am.
Has anything changed in that directive under your guidance, given what happened 2 days ago at Fort Bragg? Is there a new policy change that we're not aware of?
Again, I totally reject your insinuation.
Is there a policy change to DoD Directive 1344.10?
I know what you're attempting to insinuate, but there's no policy change and there is no policy.
Mr. Secretary, have you ever worn a MAGA hat in front of the troops?
I own plenty of MAGA hats, but I don't.
Have you ever worn one in front of the troops at an official event? I don't believe so. I don't believe so. Do you think it's appropriate for the President of the United States to wear political merchandise, including a MAGA hat, at official events, including West Point commencement?
The Commander-in-Chief
Yes or no?
can wear whatever hat he wants, to include the phrase, "Make America Great Again," because I would like to make America great again as well.
So you think that's appropriate?
The Commander-in-Chief has the right, in front of his troops, to wear whatever he'd like.
Okay, I strongly disagree with you. And I urge you both, especially you, General Kane, as we see an increasingly political rhetoric, including from the Secretary, to please, for the good of our troops, this is an incredibly difficult moment, and we need leaders like you to continue to echo the apolitical nature. I have 12 seconds. Mr. Secretary, I don't say this lightly. I have to say this on the record. I think your tenure as Secretary of Defense has been shameful and weak, and you should resign. I yield back.
So Representative Ryan sits down and basically starts grilling these guys like at a 4th of July barbecue. And I'll give him this. He came prepared. He's throwing questions like, did you ever take a political loyalty pledge? Did you ever wear political merch? It felt less like a hearing and more like a middle school lunchroom interrogation. I half expected him to say, do you pinky swear? Now, General Kane, credit where it's due, handled everything like a man who's been yelled at by every kind of officer imaginable. Calm, cool, collected. The guy says straight up, nope, no partisan pledges. Never saw one. Never required one. The military's supposed to be apolitical. And honestly, I think most Americans agree with that. The troops serve the Constitution, not a party. Then Ryan jumps into the situation at Fort Bragg. Apparently, there were reports that troops were told if they disagreed with the administration, they should get swapped out of the event. And look, if that happened, yeah, it needs looking into. Nobody should be pushed out of a presidential event because they don't like the guy's policies. We're all adults here. If our troops can handle live fire, they can handle seeing a politician they don't agree with. Then comes the part that had me chuckling. A pop-up shop selling MAGA gear on base. Now look, folks, am I surprised that at Fort Bragg someone showed up with MAGA hats? Absolutely not. It's Fort Bragg, not a vegan poetry retreat. But should it have been there during an official event? Probably not the best judgment. Even I can admit that. Then Ryan goes after Secretary Hegseth, who, by the way, has the energy of a guy who just drank 3 coffees and isn't apologizing for it. Ryan asks if the Commander-in-Chief should wear political hats at military events, and Hegseth basically says he's the boss. He can wear what he wants. And honestly, that's a fair point. If the president wants to wear a MAGA hat or a cowboy hat or a hat that says world's best golfer, that's kind of his call. Tradition says presidents keep it neutral, sure, but it's not exactly a constitutional crisis. Now, is Ryan fired up? Oh, yeah. He practically comes in for a landing with, your tenure has been shameful and weak and you should resign. And I swear, if this were a reality show, that's when someone would have thrown a glass of iced tea. But here's the thing, folks. This is why people are frustrated with Washington. Everything turns into a political food fight. Instead of focusing on the big issues, readiness, morale, making sure our soldiers have what they need, we're arguing about who wore what hat and who stocked what merchandise tent. My take, as an American patriot, here it is nice and simple. The military should stay apolitical. The troops aren't political props. The Commander-in-Chief can wear whatever hat he wants, but leadership should always respect the line between politics and a uniform. And Congress absolutely should hold hearings, but preferably without the melodrama of a soap opera. If something inappropriate happened at Fort Bragg, investigate it, fix it, move on. That's how adults handle things. But let's not tear each other to pieces over merch tents and hats when we've got real problems to solve. Let's lift up our troops, support our military, and keep politics out of the barracks as much as humanly possible. You can be right-wing, left-wing, or somewhere in between. We all want a strong, respected military that's loyal to the Constitution and above the noise. All right, Patriots, that's my take. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Was Ryan asking fair questions? Was he grandstanding? Should the president wear political hats at official events? I want to hear it. Don't forget to subscribe, hit like, share this with a friend who loves America, and join us next time on America Patriots, where we tell it straight, keep it funny, and keep it free. God bless you. God bless our troops, and God bless the United States of America.